These are the most surprising things I've learned while writing my first novel. I'm right about the 40,000 word mark, and I decided that would be a pretty good place to stop and reflect on how things have gone so far. So, first, I started with this big outline. It had every single chapter kind of planned out, the first arc, the second arc, the third climax arc, and the resolution. And I set out to write that. And that lasted for about a chapter and a half. And then my characters and the world that I built took me in a totally different direction. It's still loosely following that same plan, but it's totally scrambled out of order. And I'm in what I thought was my first arc, but I'm like maybe a third of the way of what I had planned. And like I said, I'm at 40,000 words. So I think I've definitely learned that I am a pantser, not a plotter in the author lingo. Second, my characters. I needed to plan a lot more about my characters. I had this vague idea of who they were, what they'd be doing, how they'd interact with each other, but actually, I should have spent a lot more time here. It would have helped me a lot more. I'd have less to figure out about how each character would react to each situation if I knew them better, if I understood them better, and I understood what they were trying to do in the story better. I have a vague idea of that, and now I'm getting much sharper with all those definitions, but it's cost me a lot of time. The third really thing that was surprising was that I thought it would be like hey, I'll just write 1,000 words a day and I'll just keep at this over and over and over again. And that's kind of what I've done. But what's actually interesting is that I have to figure out what I'm going to write for the day. Once I know that, I can write very quickly. I can do about 500 words in half an hour. So maybe 1,000 words an hour. It's pretty easy for me to do 2, 3, 4,000 words a day if I know where I'm going in the story. But if I don't know what I want to do in the story that day, it is a real challenge. What surprised you the most as you've tried to write your own books or your own creative works? Let me know.